So hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live from the Full Speed Event Studios here in France at the moment, and it is another way on DCG. And when I say we, it's not just me, it's not just you watching. Also joining me in the studio, it's Emma Martin. Emma, of course, back from DS duties last night, back in with us, and we'll be bringing Emma into the show in a moment. Before we do so, just got to do a quick reminder for you. Please, please, please don't forget, if you are a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, it is Nonna's month all month, and you get 20% discount at Nonna's. You just need to go. Your name will be on the list. Get yourselves down, get yourselves booked in, message Stefano down there for that. And don't forget, of course, support the people who support the Chaingang. They're all just up at the top there. 1080 OTE, Gritty, Velaskin, Halo, Continental, and of course Nonnas. And we have one of our very special supporters coming back at the end of this month for April into the DCG. Now, remember, we are running out on to Greater London Flat. You can see it top left-hand side of your screen, a route we all know well. And remember, we have our yellow and red beacons in there. Let's dive into the route and let's bring in Emma simultaneously. Emma, welcome to the show.
Good evening. Fantastic to be here and lovely to be on Greater London Flat. I love this route.
Yeah, it is one of the super fast, super quick routes, and it is kind of like our datum point. It's our point at which we know that everything, how we go in, how the gang's running, because we've used it, A, so many times, and B, because it works so well with the chain gang.
Yeah, it does indeed. And this is, I think, the third time we'll have been here this WoW season. And it's deliberately bring you back to this. A, because it's a fun route, because the group stays together for a long time. B, because there's normally a really good fun finish. And C, because it gives you an opportunity to check your progress. So how long can you stay in the pack? And can you stay until the 3 magic words?
Well, one magic word 3 times.
Technically.
You're going to be pedantic about such things. Let's get all pedantic about the course, the important things. We have our lead-in of 5.6k. We have 3 laps of 11.7, which when I went to school was 40.7 kilometres in total. We finished at the Mole Sprint Gantry with a warm down of 2.3 kilometres. And it is a very simple route in many ways, because all we're doing is doing what is a clockwise loop around the river, up into Kensington, past Harrods, drop down under Hyde Park, climb up and then drop down past St James's Palace, a quick sharp right-hand turn in T Square, Trafalgar Square, then down past Buckingham Palace, and then back round again. Sounds simple, doesn't it, really? It is, but it's not totally flat, is it?
No, it's not totally flat. And actually, the main thing to watch out for is the climb on the lead-in, actually. Because when you take that right-hand turn onto that climb on the lead-in, it's really tricky to hold the group together. And that actually is one of the most dangerous points on here. The other is the little subway underneath the bridge, because there's a little kicker there. Now, expect that to potentially be an attack point on the last lap.
So that is basically where Hyde Park Corner is. On the map, you can just see the little stub going through, the blue dot at the end of the stub there. That is Hyde Park Memorial, and to enable the flow of traffic to move faster along there, the underpass was built underneath Hyde Park Monument to save everybody going round the roundabout.
There you go.
There you go. It is also as steep in real life as it is on Zwift.
Matt has spent too long working on events in London.
I have almost lived in this area of London for a very, very long time, unofficially a resident working on events. Now, let's put some context to those sections, particularly the underpass with the fantastic Velo Viewer profile. So if we were to look at our squares, the key parts here are all pretty much jammed into the top row across the top, and that is essentially because we run into the underpass. That is the dip down on the join between the left hand and the central top squares. We then climb up, and it's a 2-stage climb, isn't it, Emma? There's a kick from the underpass, and then it levels. Then there's a kick to the high point on the course.
Yeah, there is, but you really feel the kick on the underpass first because it does kick. It says there 3.8% average. It does feel a little bit steeper than that because the kick comes fast, but you've got a little bit of a roll down under into that underpass before you kick out. Then a little bit of a flat, and then you've got a longer grind till you get to the top point.
And then it's a very quick transition into the descent down to St James's Palace and take the left-hand turn with a slight rise. And that really does split any gaps that are formed on the top, doesn't it?
Well, it does mean we'll have a very fast finish, whatever happens.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a quick one tonight. We run down through the Mall, then up Constitution Hill. That is that single spur section heading from right to left in that central top square. Then we come around in towards Westminster, and then we have the long drop down around the river. So a big thank you to Ben Lowe and all the team at Valaview. Their graphics are absolutely critical for us here. Now, our beacons. Emma, would you like to introduce our beacons? First of all, the wonderful, very, very quick Alison Kinlock.
Oh, she is speedily quick. She took a medal in the World Cyclocross Masters Championships this year. She's absolutely a demon in the mud, but she's quick on Zwift, and the only thing she rides on Zwift is the WOW DCG.
It is indeed, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job as leader. In red, it is the one and only Maz Heffron, who is the demon descender on the mountain bike as well. Couldn't resist a picture of the mountains this time round, as well as being fun and fast. Maz, of course, a very experienced rider and a teammate of yours on the Ionian squad.
Yeah, Maz has been a teammate of mine on and off for many years on many different teams, but currently on the AO squad as well. And loving that picture of Maz in the mountains.
Definitely.
Makes me dream of summer.
Well, we can all dream of summer, and it is Maz who is going to be our red beacon. Let's jump in with the ride. I think they are just rolling their way out at the moment. So let's work our way over to the ride from Maz, and let's jump in live on the show. So at the moment you can see we have the ride being led out from those start pens. If we take our camera up from Foxy, who's changed kit yet again. I tell you something.
She
some
loves
people
a kit change.
Some people have got far too much time on the house to change their kit all the time. Look at that matching Tron bike as well.
I know, look at that. It's good, isn't it?
Right, so the group just rolling out and on the way. Remember to make sure that you jump in with that group. The key here is to get in with that group. The roll out generally about 2.5 watts per kilo. Our group just making its way in and through. Maz from the Aeonian squad is here indeed. Here we go. Look at that. Straight into our red beacon in here. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Maz had those socks in real life, you know.
What? Bright orange dotty things?
Oh, yeah. I bet that is a very Maz sock, you know.
There is such a thing as a Maz sock?
Very much so.
Okay. We will see. We will see. Right. So, the group are rolling its way out. The red beacon just keeping an eye on the riders at the back here. So it's going to be key for them to give it a bit of a push to join in with the group. We have at least one rider just having to make up a little bit of ground here. And that's a fair distance to make up. So it looks like that we have got Alexandra at the moment. Alexandra Poppy just chasing back to the group.
Now, there is a late join function on the ride tonight, and it would be good. I don't know if Alexandra has got the broadcast on at the moment, but if she hasn't, if someone could just pop on the screen for us, that would be absolutely fantastic. The late join is for 30 minutes tonight, and if you have a gap of around 50 minutes, 50 seconds, or even 20 seconds, dropping out and dropping back in, it will drop you back into the main bunch.
Yeah.
Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, look at that, Holly from Coalition, faster than my fingers can hit keyboards here. And it is pretty key to jump back in. I think that's a Romanian flag, if I am not much mistaken. There. I need to swat up on my flags because we're coming into the World the World Championship. So it looks like Maz just dropping back off that group, just keeping an eye on the next rider. That is going to be Nathalie in here. So it looks like Maz working hard with Nathalie, who is rolling about 2.5 watts per kilo here. I think Alexandra's going to have to do a fair bit of work. That's a long way for the beacon to head back in at the moment. The rest of the group rolling along pretty steadily, and I think we're going to see a few people just hanging off the back there just to give a little bit of assistance. I think Izzy Torrey doing the same one. No surprises there. Aeonian rider, very strong rider as well. Those Torrey socks as well. If we have Maz socks, is this an Izzy Torrey sock?
Do you know, I don't know what Izzy Torrey's sock choice normally is. I know Maz, often has a brightly coloured sock on. So,
okay.
you know.
So Izzy Torrey already going back. Looks like Foxy just dropping back to give a hand. Good to see that we've got the Army Cycling team coming to join us as well. Always great to have them on board. Naomi Metcalf in here from the Army CC squad.
Yeah, but look at this, Matt. Everyone's now going back and dropping back to help Maz, help the Red Beacon actually pull the riders back in now. So lovely. Just look at that beautiful train of riders all dropping off. What a wonderful comet tail to tow the Red Beacon in.
Yep, no shortage of riders there as breadcrumbs to give Maz a hand. I think Nathalie is going to need to do a rejoin. The current pace probably a little bit on the hot side to be able to get back into those watts per kilo. Alexandra pushing on well though. She may well make it if she doesn't have the message board on. It's always much more difficult, isn't it? And it is really key. If you have the message board on, the conversation is much easier. Yeah,
the conversation is much more easy. You can join the chat if you want, but then you get the clear instructions and you get to see what you're actually supposed to do.
You do, and then you get lots of help. And this is what we mean by lots of help. Look at that train of riders there so that the Red Beacon can rejoin the pack there. So just pulling back into the pack with Tracy Seeley, with Becky Porter-James, Joanne Lee, Foxy, Lisa Elliott, Holly from Coalition. I think that's going to be Lindsay Clark, Eve Roberts, Holly. That is going to be... Right, let's check which Gilbert. This is Emma Gilbert. In here.
How many Gilberts can you have on a WOW DCG?
Not enough.
It's a bit like the Emma and Sarah ride.
I'm hoping one day we're going to have Emma Gilbert, Ailish Gilbert, Hewin Gilbert and Fionn Gilbert, all of which ride bikes.
They do. All with the surname Gilbert.
Families.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably more than that actually, but those are the three Gilberts from one family and the one Gilbert from another that I know that ride regularly on Zwift. You never know, it might happen.
The Gilbert Show.
It is.
We need a theme tune.
One E Gilbert and another E Gilbert.
We need a theme tune. I don't know what theme tune you'd have for the Gilbert Show, but there would be a good theme tune, I think.
Can I plead one of the amendments at this point in time? Right. You should all change your names, Gilbert. Yeah. Benny Hill says one of the Gilberts.
That's lucky. That was one of the Gilberts.
That wasn't actually what I was thinking of, but you know, if that's what you choose, then who is it? Who am I to say any different?
Brilliant. Looks like that pack is all together. That's a good size pack tonight there, Matt. 36 riders on the Chaingang tonight. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is the tricky bit we were talking about at the start. This is the climb now on the lead-in, so before the route proper. So this is that little bit with a bit of a drag, just keeping all that group together.
Yep, now let's have a look here. It looks like we have two riders who are off the back. It's Dup and Poppy. They are rolling, but they are both well over 36 seconds back. They're not going to make it back in. Given the watts per kilo, given the time gaps, and given the pace of the ride, unless they do a rejoin, and they may well not be watching live stream on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, on the Full Speed Events Facebook channel, or on the standard Facebook channel for the Donny Chaingang. But they are not, I don't think, going to make the junction So I think it is a rejoin. I think if we send the red beacon back, we won't see the red beacon again.
Exactly.
And that will be helping 2 riders rather than the bulk of riders, which is still a long way to go.
Exactly.
There you go. Great minds think alike and fools seldom different. Right, let's have a little look at some of our other riders in here. It looks like we've got riders from Italy in here. Looks like Joe Blackburn. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we've not seen Joe for a while. She's obviously stretching her legs out because she's our yellow beacon next week.
Welcome back, Joe Blackburn. You have all been warned. The monster that is Joe Blackburn, the wind machine that is Joe Blackburn, is back. But can she do it today? Because I have seen other of our winners in here. The tactics squad have come mob-handed.
They have, but
and we've got Izzy Torria from the Ionian squad.
But we've also got the 2 Gilbert sisters, and you know how well they work together on an attack.
Yeah, from the Electric Spirit squad. It's a real bit of a team game up on the front. We've also got Daisy Freer. I'm sure I've seen Daisy in the mix as well. And of course, it can't be long before Vicky is going to be taking away the win. I'm just trying to see if she's in here. It's kind of like enough riders now for me to have to try and swing my way around this bunch as fast as I can to try and catch everybody, because it's a big group and it all churns round faster than I can hit the buttons.
Nice to see Eve Robertson actually tonight, so welcome Eve from Derby Mercury. Lovely to see you in the group tonight.
Yeah, coming back and joining us. It's been a little while since Eve has been
Alison,
on the ride.
You're not the only one who likes the tactic kit. I'd like to be an honorary member of the tactic kit, not an honorary member of the kit, an honorary member of the team, so I can have some kit.
Yeah.
Do you think they do honorary members tactics just so you can get the kit?
If they do, I want to be one. In fact, we all want to be one. Maybe the whole of the Chaingang should be, really. We will see. Everybody seems to like the kit. It's very, very good. I think I've seen it in real life, actually out on the roads in the coverage of the racing on the weekend.
Joe Blackburn would also like some of the kit too.
Yeah, this way.
I know.
Right, Vicky Jones is indeed on the ride. Now, this is my secret tip. This is Dark Horse winner. Vicky here is one of our super fast riders, and Vicky Jones is the rider mostly liking to get Alison Kinlock in real life Shibden kit is a bit dull. It's yeah.
Ooh. But we're in the season of fancy kit at the moment. I'm loving the fact that we've got lots of bright colours in the pelotons at the moment in real life. So bright kit is back.
Well, except for in the Shibden CC area.
Well, they've got a flash of green.
So's a traffic light, and you wouldn't want to look like that.
I can't believe you just associated Shibden CC's kit with a traffic light. Where's the red and amber?
Well, it hasn't reached that stage. It's always green for go. Hopefully Ian isn't listening. Did Ian Spencer design the kit? Is it Ian Spencer's design skills? That man is the most enthusiastic.
It's classic kit.
No, it's not. It's awful. He's the most enthusiastic. He's a driver. He's an inspiration to so many people. He's the driving force behind so many races. But if he did design that kit, we have finally found his weakness. This is what he can't do. Not in my opinion.
Look at that.
For what it's worth.
No, I was just admiring the helicopter view of London with the riders rolling up. So
I can't get the helicopter any higher at the moment.
Absolutely beautiful shots of the road at the moment.
Yeah, let's take the camera. This is the run up to Constitution Hill here, and that's the Hyde Park Memorial we're talking about in front. It's in the middle of a roundabout, basically. And you go through from Constitution Hill, from Buckingham Palace, up Constitution Hill. And as you go up the hill, you go through underneath the archway and into Hyde Park proper itself on the other side. And then you've got the Serpentine and Victoria Monument and all the rest of it up there. But this is the old gateway, the old ceremonial arch in. You've got the Commonwealth memorials either side here. You've got the Bomber Command Memorial just over to the right-hand side from here on James Park. It's an absolutely historic and absolutely iconic part of London. So why would they not put it in here? Now, big turnaround coming up here. And obviously you wouldn't want to run the road through the middle. That's why I've got an underpass. And that's why we will dive underneath. So around the top we go. We're going to do the turnaround. Of course, here on Zwift, everything is turnaround.
So Holly is just... I'm wondering whether this is a joke or whether this is serious, Holly.
Yes.
They will tell you. That's true.
Yeah, wait till they do an ultra marathon or something similar, then you'll never hear the end of it. Oh, hi, Em. Yeah, so the gang on the way down on the descent, they do tell you all the time, I'm sure. It sounds like somebody is in there. I have never run a marathon, a proper marathon.
I've never run a marathon on a road.
I've run lots of things in mountains, but not run a road. I've run a road half marathon. I've run about 3. I never used to do any training now. Just used to turn up. It's just bad for you.
Yeah.
Don't bother doing any. It's just not good for you. Just ride your bike. It's much better.
Oh, quite right, Alison. You shouldn't want to run a marathon. No, definitely not on the road. Go and do a fell race or something like that. Much nicer. You get to see the view, and then you can go really slow because you've got the excuse you're looking at the view rather than looking at a road.
Yeah. Oh, so our group is on its way round. I'm just going to have a little sneaky run back. Enough talking about torturing people. And just going to take a look at Popsy. Popsy's on the descent. Dub is on the ascent, and that gap is 2 minutes, so it might well be that they're going to see the group coming back in. Right.
I can't say, Alison, I've ever wanted to do a fell race carrying a bike or a bike race on a fell where you have to carry the bike. So all power to you, because if you are going to take to that start line again, and that is in fact one of the things our yellow beacon and our red beacon have in common.
They both rode the 3 peaks.
They both rode the 3 Peaks cyclocross race last year.
Yes. Holly from Coalition, I'm a runner, then I found Zwift. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a runner too, Holly, until I found a bike.
Yeah. 3 Peaks is so much fun, says Miss Cookie.
Oh, can you imagine Miss Cookie descending on the 3 Peaks?
Yes.
My God.
I
wouldn't want to watch.
I'm now going to have nightmares for the next week. It's a scary thought. I've ridden with
Who would go downhill faster, Alison, Maz or Cookie on the 3 Peaks?
Maz, downhill.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Every time. Every time. I would quite happily try and hold the wheel of Alison or Miss Cookie downhill. But Maz, I have to admit, scared the living bejeebus out of me. That's for sure. Hi. Hell is a 12-hour TT. Yes, I know, I've done that. And I got the fastest off word, so no surprises there. Yeah, I've done a 12-hour time trial. 12-hour time trials are cool. They are very, very good. Yeah. Do you want to do one?
12-hour time trial is cool.
Yeah, it's actually quite good fun in a very perverse and masochistic kind of way.
I could imagine that's your kind of fun, though.
Yeah, it's like really, really weird. 24-hour? No.
Oh, not a 24-hour time trial, but Maz and I have been in the same squad doing the 24-hour mountain bike race.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is true. You got a medal, didn't you?
We won.
Oh, there you go, you won.
And the lovely Princess Royal came and gave us a medal.
That was very nice of her.
I know.
There you go.
Mountain Mayhem.
Oh, doing 6-hour dirty knocker on Sunday.
Oh, that'll be good.
What if you do a 25-mile time trial? Way too long. Yeah, 25-mile time trials are rubbish. I have faster splits in my 50 than for each 25 in a 50 than I did for the 25 time trial. How stupid is that? It's crazy, isn't it? So I could string 2 fast 25s together, but I couldn't do a single fast 25. Not at all. Not in any way, shape or form. But we do have all sorts of riders, all sorts of different disciplines, which is what I really love about Chaingang, and really love this. Alison Kinloch.
Oh, Alison,
It's
is it
not
really horrible back in the UK?
That was so insincere. That was the most insincere thing you said.
It's going to be 21 degrees here tomorrow.
That's harsh.
I know.
Yeah, what they don't know is they haven't seen the state. The camera is face up for a reason. Yes, please. Please. Apart from the fact that then I'd have to talk to her in the studio instead of us talking with you. You can, of course, be on it. We have two more. Hate to be this lacklustre on the last Wild DCG. Yes, we have indeed more. Emma, tell us what courses we've got coming up.
Yeah, so next week we are on Sand and Sequoias.
Okay, which is the route that was used last night on the DCG.
There you go.
Emma
Gilbert,
yes,
you
please.
are welcome. In fact, I was just sat here thinking, do you know what? We should have an in real life WoW DCG in France.
Yep.
In the Charente. You can fly into Limoges. It's 45 minutes from Limoges Airport where we are.
I think flights in are about £15 at the
yeah,
moment. Although your bike's a bit more.
Bring some bikes. Bring a tent. Camp in the garden.
Yeah.
We're rocking and we're laughing. I'm thinking a week.
Yeah.
Let's go. Anybody up for it, stick it down on the Donny Chaingang Facebook page.
Yes. Yeah. Feel free. Holly's posted in Bergerac. Yeah, it's not all
Joe
that far.
Blackburn, of course you can bring your dog,
Izzy
but you
Torrey,
won't
I'll
be
do
able to
that.
fly.
Alison Kidlock, I've got spare bike box. Says, yeah, you can bring the dog.
It's 6.5 hours from Calais in the car.
You can do it in a lot less, but you will risk.
You need to drive very fast.
Yeah, it's quite expensive in speed tickets. I should know. I have done it very, very quickly. I'm packed. You're more than welcome, Holly. We shall put. Do you know what? Let's put a date in the diary for it, and we will see. Yeah, Nicholas Soden. No, tactic team, you're only welcome if you bring a spare set of kit. There might have to be a fee for
I want to know how many people will turn up with their AO kit, though. We could have.
It could be yeah. No, I might have to assume my.
I think we should make that a reality. I don't think we should just talk about that. I think we should do that.
It's not like you. Do lots of talking about it. Do you know what? It could. The WoW DCG does for us. Yeah. We could have the tactic as the team kit.
just scrub the word tactic out and put WoW on the front.
Oh, do I get to pick the routes?
Yes, you can pick routes.
Good.
Oh, Maz, should we let Matt pick routes? Maybe not.
No, I think you should let me pick the routes because I promise I won't pick off-road routes for you, or I will for those who want them.
Yeah. No, Matt would send you around the history of the area.
There would be some.
You'd have the Roman amphitheatre. You'd have the castles.
Maz is thinking.
Maz knows you too
Claire
well.
just is in. Yeah, right. Okay, we will pick a date. There will be some flat stuff. I can guarantee it. There might be the odd hill every now and then. We might have to go to a chateau for galettes and wine and coffee as a halfway stop.
Miss Cookie, you don't need a road bike. Just put the tyres that you won on the DCG last month on your cross bike and you'll be laughing.
Cake. Oh, lots of cake. Flipping egg. How many cake stops would you like?
I have 2 ovens, Alison. Do not worry about cake.
2?
2 ovens.
No, we just buy it. Most would have a history tour with Matt waving his clipboard. I don't own a clipboard. I'll have to tell you now, I do not own.
Oh, look.
It
Becky
only took
Porter
20
James.
minutes. Well done, Becky.
She's on the cake bingo. Nicholas Soden, when has there ever been no wine on a trip to France?
There is copious amounts locally. We've even have our own grapevine.
I was going to say, Matt cut back the grapevine today, so...
Well, we've got 2 actually, but only one I suspect is likely to be any good this time round. Right.
Enough about France. We're meant to be in London. Oh, I didn't tell you. The last WoW DCG. So next week we're in Sand and Sequoias with Joe Blackburn leading.
Yep.
And then Izzy Torrey takes the Yellow Beacon mantle for our final WoW DCG of this season, and we are heading back to Crit City, but going the other way round.
So you're going the other way around Crit City.
We are indeed.
Izzy Torrey, Matt will have to take a loudspeaker to do commentary. Do you know what? I tell you what I will do. We will have. I might do you a deal that I might. Yes, try to get your chest out. Is I will do one of 2 things. If you need to have
Matt
somebody
does not
in there.
need a loudspeaker.
No, I don't. You've got a choice that I might drive the support vehicle for you for the week, or it may be that I will actually come and, if you will have me as an honorary Wild DCG rider, I might come out and actually go for a ride for 1 or 2 of the rides, but not for all of them. I refuse point blank, because if it's Wild DCG, you lot should be looking after yourselves. I'll give you the GPX and you can not get lost. I can just be the skivvy to do the collection service.
Yeah.
Maybe a ride to the lakes as well.
Oh, definitely. You have to go for a ride.
No
to the
Crick
lakes,
City
don't you?
stuff in France.
Oh, no.
Nice scenery.
Yes. You could drive the support bus that day, and you could take everyone's swim kit and loads of beach towels, and we could ride to the lakes and then go for a swim and sit on the beach. Anyway, enough about dreaming of the summer.
I know, you can tell everybody wants it to be warm, sunny, and have some nice days out on the bike, which, let's face it, that's what we all want to do on the bike. All right, Foxy in the new yellow kit on the way in here with Maz. Looks like we have gearing in here and just tucked in at the back. Just a quick swing of the bottle. Becky Porter James in on board. I don't know why we're talking cakes with Becky Porter James. I mean, come on.
Sorry, Maz, you just made me laugh out loud, and I can't believe I just laughed out loud. The Valley des Songes.
So the Valley des Songes is the Valley of the Monkeys. It has my relatives in there. And after several bottles of wine, you might find out why.
Yeah, so it started as a conservation place, didn't it, and a rescue place.
It still is.
Well, it still is, but yeah.
I don't think we'll do it there. Right.
Maz and I rode up there one summer, and I mean, the second half of the ride, Maz got on the front, and we near enough did a 2-up time trial on the way in.
Well, that's your red beacon for you. It's more than capable of holding her own when it's
She's a
all gets
wheel
done.
to hold. It makes you work hard.
That's because she's dinky.
Oh, no windbreak.
No. Right, just in at the moment with Claire Smith. Looks like Chloe Lace back in with us. We've got Cindy Collier in here. Just taking a quick check down here. Harriet Robbie's in as well. Megan Boyd back on once again.
Do you know, we're at just coming up for 14 kilometres now, Matt, of the Wild ECG tonight, 25 minutes in, and this is a really nice blob, and they're moving really well together around London. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens, because I think there are some really good riders in this pack tonight, and I think we're going to see some really interesting riding and some interesting decisions made by our riders once Alison winds it up and lets it run.
Yeah.
Oh, I nearly said the word, but I didn't.
Yes, indeed. Well done. Make commentator out of you yet. Okay, so just the world's most patronising statement from ever.com. So Holly from Coalition on the way down here, just with Miss Cookie, a preponderance of bikes with either glowing
Come
neon
on, Cookie,
or
get on that wheel. Push,
disc
push,
wheels.
push, push, push.
I know, don't get distance, thinking about cake.
You can do it, you can do it. Push, 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 push. You've got it, you've got it.
I don't know, don't not pay attention. Not good. Yeah, come on, Miss Cookie, get yourself in there. Don't be dropped.
Yay, she's on, she's on, she's on. Good job, good job. Oh, Red Beacon's just monitoring the back of the group. It's like a little sheepdog tonight, herding the back of the group.
That's the idea. So diving in, Emma. This is the underpass. This is where you get the roll down, isn't it?
Yeah,
and this is where you get that run on, and that run on in here into the dip, and then the climb up the other side. This is where you need to get that momentum going.
Yeah, it is, and it is as Alison, our yellow beacon, comes out for a call of stay steady on the ramp. This time up, it's a steady ride up, but this is indeed that ramp section on that underpass, and our riders will very shortly see the kicker on the way out.
Interested that Musk's gone for aero wheels, but not the full disc option on the way through here. And this group, as you said, moving well, but this is where you can often find that we start to get a little bit of gappage on the way through. It's a good word, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I think
Gappage.
this is a really tight blob tonight, which is really good. They're spread right across the road, which means they're all riding at roughly the same pace. There's really tight and colourful blob on the road, so I think this is all going really well.
A profusion of colour.
Profusion of colour.
It is. There's not many big words I'm going to use tonight, but profusion is one of them. Preponderance?
Has it got to begin with a P?
Possibly. Probably. Just giving an eye on our 2 rows of the back. They are still continuing on. It's really good to see, despite losing ground early on. Somebody said, we have said it must say dive out, jump back in, but the time is running out to do that. 28 minutes past means if you get tech issues now, you do need to be very careful because you will not be able to jump back in. The time is running out to do so. Now, Red Bus may well be forming with Foxy, with Miss Cookie and with Maz here, but it's not that far to the group in front. But we are coming up to that key point, aren't we, where we hit the top of the climb. You can see it coming up in front. You see those London buses in the corner.
This is that long drag section we were talking about at the beginning of the show. So you get the short kick out from the underpass, it levels off, and then you get this long drag. It's only sitting around 2 or 3%, but it does just keep going a bit, and you can see that's what's causing this little gap back to the red beacon there. Now, once they get over the brow of this hill, it will drop, and it does descend for quite a significant period of time. Even though it's not a steep descent, it is enough to get the group rolling.
So over the top that group goes, and if you're not in this group, you are going to be putting yourselves in danger. Look how fast that gap has opened up. Looks like Holly Bergin, Foxy, Maz, Becky Porter, James, Miss Cookie, the wrong side of that gap with work to do to come back in towards it. And they're going to have to try and close that down. And that is really does demonstrate, doesn't it? Very small gap coming into that knife edge section. And the way it goes. Now, it will compress slightly because we do have this little bit of a drag. It's only 1% here.
Yeah.
But I've often used this when I've been riding. 2% on this top section, 3% now as you go into the very top of the rise. But it's enough for it to be a trigger point when you're attacking and racing. And it can be once we get past the point at which those immortal words are used.
Yeah, it can be indeed, but also it's a good place to, if you do get that stretch on the downhill descent, you know, to concertina back onto the group, which actually works really well on that little bit of a push.
Yeah, Holly has just had a little bit of a squeeze to go dive in.
Demonstrated beautifully by Holly.
Yeah, which means that Foxy is currently in the drift in the middle of the group, in between the bus and the front group.
Yeah, I'm sure Foxy is absolutely capable of working out what she's going to do and where she's going to stay, whether she's going back to the red bus or whether she's pushing on. I'm sure she is absolutely fine right there at the moment. Yeah,
class rider, definitely. Very, very quick, very fast. Dubious tasting colour scheme, but, you know, let you off with that.
I don't know, I think it's absolutely, once again, absolutely matched with everything. Look at those, I like those socks are good. I've got a sock thing going on tonight. Socks for Watts tonight.
Yeah, no socks for Watts riders tonight, I don't think. Oh, no, I tell a lie, we have, I think.
Oh, yeah, we have Jackson, socks for Watts.
I know, I'm just fighting to Helen Jackson. Oh, just missed her. No, there we go.
There you go.
Fastest finger. Yeah, socks for Watts. Current socks for Watts socks. Pink and blue. There you go. So here we go, just taking a little roll around. You can just see the gang on the way in. It looks like that could well be gearing just on the back. Has come underneath the but that's one full lap complete. 2 laps to go here today. 30 minutes in, but of course we have our, in that time, we have the start section.
Yeah, and it's a long lead-in, over 5 kilometres of lead-in on this course. So a full lap and that long lead-in. So 2 laps to go. And the banner the riders have just been under will be our finish banner at the end of that second lap. Then there will be a 2.3 kilometre warm down. So anyone listening who wants to know the distance at the finish banner, the distance at the finish arch will be 40.7 kilometres, and then there will be a 2.3 kilometre warm down. to the blue event banner.
Helen Jackson has just got a burrito.
Oh!
I know, but in our mission to get people used to being on the Swift rides and racing, which is of course part of the role of the DCG and the WOW DCG, knowing how to get rid of your burrito is as important as using it, particularly if you pick up one in a team time trial.
Yeah, you don't actually have to use it. You can actually bring up the bar at the bottom of your screen and you can utilise the dustbin feature and throw it away.
Never throw a burrito away.
You can throw any power-up away if you don't want it.
Oh, power up. I thought you meant real burrito.
No.
No.
I wasn't talking about the Mexican takeaway food.
Can you tell I'm hungry?
Can you smell dinner? In your imagination.
Yeah, probably. Hate the burrito. The burrito is brilliant. I absolutely love the burrito, particularly on Crick City and when you are doing the Downtown Dolphin. It is absolutely brilliant. Good burrito with lamb fatigue. Exactly, Alison. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Definitely. Pulled pork burrito. That's it. There'll be no more talk of cake anymore on the WOW DCG. It will be Mexican takeaway. Make me happy. Nearly as happy as when I discovered that there was pecan and vanilla ice cream with caramel. That's amazing.
Well, talking about amazing, this group are now rolling through over 40 kph down this section. They are motoring really well at the moment. This is really good to see this group still all together. We've got our red bus a little bit further back down that long shot view, but this group now really picking up the pace.
Indeed, just coming in and around the wedding cake as it's known. The set of steps and statue that looks straight down the mall, as you can see there, and then across towards Birdcage Walk, not the one that's in the Otley Crypt, but the one that takes you down the side of St James's Park. That is the park to the rider's left, down past the barracks on the right and into town once again, heading down towards the Palace of Westminster, Westminster Abbey, Parliament Square, Whitehall and Westminster Bridge. It's a very nice path through the park about here.
Have you meandered down it?
Yeah, I've also walked down it about. There you are. There it is. Look.
Look,
Told you there's a nice path down there. It's just there. I've been up and down that many, many times. It's a great shortcut when you're coming in and through. There you go. Curb edge is about the right height as well. Really sad, isn't it? I do need to get out a lot more. So the riders on the way through, they are absolutely motoring at the moment.
So why don't we take this opportunity, Matt, for you to tell us a little bit more about Nonnas, because this month Nonnas are sponsoring the Donny Chaingang this month. So what are we planning?
So Nonnas, right. Of course, top of your screen, and you can see them either side of the ride data that is currently showing Holly on here. It is Nonnas. Now, Nonnas, of course, the award-winning, over the many years it's been open, award-winning Italian restaurant based in Sheffield. And Nonnas is one of the Donny Chaingang's favourite watering holes and food stations for many, many reasons. Mostly because of the amazing hospitality and food, but also, of course, because they look after the members of the DCG gang. That's the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. If you remember, for March, and it has closed now for March, if you joined and you were in March, we're going to say thank you. And how we're going to say thank you is anybody who's a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, can get 20% off a booking at Nonnas. They can also order online if you don't live around the corner from Nonnas, you can't get very close. But also, we are going to give away 5 lots of £50 vouchers. So you can go to Nonnas and have £50 off whatever you want. You can
well,
spend
I can't
£50
go
off
to
bottle of
Nonnas
wine.
and have £50 off because, unfortunately, I can't take part in the draw. But
No.
our riders who are members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club can be
That
in
is
the
true.
draw, and they can indeed have
The
£50
you as
off.
general you.
I know. I'm just being
rather than
pedantic.
you. No,
We're
really.
back to those P words.
But yes, pedant. The, so if you're a member of DCG gang, then be there. Looks like Miss Cookie might take Emma anyway. Yeah, please do. Save me a fortune.
Permanently.
Yeah, that would do.
Back to those P words.
Possibly. Positively. Perhaps. So, the riders on the way round, basically, at the moment, are here and on the Chaingang because we have the support of the DCG gang. The DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, basically bankrolls the whole thing. It keeps the whole show on the road. So from the streaming to Sticky Mouse, we've still got Sticky Mouse. I haven't replaced Sticky Mouse. The name for this mouse, it's not an Asus TUF, whatever model it is, gaming mouse. It is a sticky mouse because it's got sticky buttons for the last week or so. And that's just because of the amount of stick we give it doing the Chaingang. The Chaingang actually damages kit. We can do more damage to the kit and actually run a whole studio for a year in the same time that we do the Donny Chaingang for a month. That's how it works. You can tell I've been doing the accounts, can't you?
You can.
So what we do is we need a little bit of help. So we don't just spend a whole heap load of time administering, looking after it, planning the routes, etc. But we also, of course, have the costs of the streaming, of the software, etc. And of course, we want to be able to look after the riders, and we need to look after the Facebook group, and we do ticketing. Of course, we've got Russ, who's super busy. So if you are a member of the DCG gang, you are a member of the sports club, then massive thank you, because you keep the show on the road and you're enabling us to bring you the WoW DCG. So thank you very much.
And thank you from Nonnas.
And thank you from us. And go there, support it. They're down. The people at the bottom of your screen: 1080, Continental, Velaskin, Halo, Nonnas, and Gritty as well as OTE are the people who keep the show on the road. They are looking after the road, so please do support the people who support your sport. It is that my strapline for years has been that. Support the people who support your sport. We've gone from cake and we've hit the Baileys.
Well, no. Foxy is having a slice of malt loaf at the moment. Now, if we can just remember, it wasn't that long ago where Izzy Torrey took a mid-WoW DCG snack. I think it was the chocolate kind. But she did go on to, I think, win that evening. So, Foxy, be careful what that malt loaf might do.
Indeed. Right. So, I'm just going to take a quick check. The bus rolling nicely here. So, looks like we've got Becky Porter-James. Becky in here. But do you know what Becky can do? Becky can make the most amazing, amazing confectionery and pastries. There you go. Today's run of fat.
There you go.
She's absolutely honestly a baker of genius.
There you go.
I've just got to tap her up to do some gluten-free ones for me, and then I will be away. Sadly, can't sample the wares, but they look absolutely astounding. There you go. Alongside Miss Cookie, who features regularly on the gang, and a lot of people know Miss Cookie, and of course Maz, who we have featured quite shortly. This is our bus of 3. We've got Alexandra Property and Natalie Dupp, who are still powering on around behind. And then we have the squad, and it's the main gang, and it's pretty much all together by the look of it. The pace is picking up, though. There's some seriously big numbers.
Well, our yellow beacon has called out 3.5 watts per kilo, and they've picked it up on the front, and the pace is now moving really strongly. The group are just under 40 kph at the moment. They're 41 minutes into the WoW DCG and are just coming up to 23.5 kilometres out of this 40.7 kilometre course.
I absolutely love the comment that came from Holly Bergen. Holly went, right, 3.5 watts per kilo is like 300 watts for me. Are you ready?
Go Holly.
Yeah, Holly Power Monster, Holly Bergen of Coalition Racing. Do you know what? Can I have Holly to lead me out for some of the segments that I don't have out here in France if she just come out? That'd be great. That kind of power. That's scary. Yeah,
look, I think you're not the only one wanting to go out for a bike ride with Holly. Alison's getting her down as well.
I want to hide on Holly's wheel non-stop. Actually, to be fair, Holly is not very far from Alison.
No, she's not.
Given that we have some kind of geographical spread, knowledge of the geographical spread. I'm just taking a look because I think that Gearing is just losing touch here. So key here is to see what that gap is. It is in there. And it is going to be key to just try and pull that gap back through. So Gearing just losing a touch. So find a group, jump on board as the pace picks up. Key now is to find a group. So
and that's what happens now with the call going to 3.5 watts per kilo. It's likely that we will start to shed riders off the back, but Gearing looking like she's actually just stopped. You know, you never know. She may well have a problem. Foxy's dropped her malt loaf. Gearing could have dropped her phone. You know, these things happen even in indoor riding and indoor racing. You know, it's not always as straightforward as you think.
It's never as straightforward as you think, otherwise you're doing it wrong.
Well, that is very true, and this pace is really testing a few people at the moment, Matt. Lace is just hanging off the back there as well.
Just seeing Chloe just on the back of this group, and Foxy just holding on. I mean, 3.5 watts per kilo is moving.
Well, particularly with this size group. This size group are motoring at this pace. So 43 kph at the moment this group are doing. And the thing is, to get in the group and to hide in the group and utilise the draft of the group, you know, and actually, if you're Lace at the moment is doing 4.95 watts per kilo and she's not in the group are motoring and the group are moving really fast. And look, you'd think she'd be closing that gap really, really quickly. It is coming down, but it's not coming down as fast as you think because a lone rider who's not in the draft, you know, luckily Foxy is giving her a hand here and the two will make the juncture onto the back of the group, I'm very sure, in a moment. But that pack is moving so fast. With that call for 3.5 watts per kilo, it is so hard to get back on. So all credit to Chloe and to Foxy there to close that gap and to get back on that group. Now you've got to sit in the middle of it and take the draft.
Yep. Being able to position yourself to be able to sit in the right place, using the power modulation to get yourself into position really is key. Now it's come through. Interesting that the chat has got a lot quieter, oddly enough. I should hope it has at 3.5 watts per kilo. So we've gone up to 3.5 watts per kilo. It has been known to go to 4.5 before the call has gone out. That is some going though. I'm not sure whether it's going to make it that far tonight. Part of me hopes it doesn't, because there'll be a lot of shredded legs if that is the case. Right, just giving a check on Daisy Freer. Daisy, one of our winners, of course, previously on the Chaingang. Daisy nicely tucked in here, Northeast youngster. Tucked in just behind Lisa Elliott, another of our regulars in here. In the Fear kit, I have to say, I really do like as a commentator. To be honest, like it. I'm sure it looks great as a real life kit as well.
It's definitely one that you can pull out of a pack really quite straight. Look at that. Kinlock calls 4 watts per kilo.
Oh, she just said she wasn't mean.
Let's get this pack motoring. I think this pack can cope with it, you know. This pack are rolling really fast. They're full of strong riders.
Oh, look
Kinlock
at this. Holly Berg
is winding it up.
I tell you what, Holly is absolutely all over this. She has... I don't know what Holly had for breakfast. How many Weetabix, Holly? Because absolutely powering on. There was this, right, let's do 4. Holly's like, right, there you go, I'm going to do 4. She wrote us up to 4. The rest of the group at the moment could be distanced here. She's having to ease off just so they get back on the wheel.
Well, I think everyone is sat there watching each other, waiting and seeing
Sausage starting for breakfast for the win, Holly.
What is going on? I think there's a lot of watching and a lot of tentative people in this group at the moment. They're all waiting to see.
46 minutes.
You know, Kinlock's called it to 4 watts per kilo. We're at 26.5 kilometres. You know, what is there? 13.4 to go, 14 to go.
Yeah, it's your maths is rubbish tonight.
14 kilometres to go.
Thank you. I was going to say.
I forgot about the 0.7.
It's very handy, that 0.7, because it ties in just as you go underneath the underpass with 14k. Right, here we go, up on to the climb. Remember, the limiter that's been imposed, or the target, is 4 watts per kilo. The group is not holding that. And the go has gone. The go has gone. There are no limits. They've been thrown in the dustbin. And look at the difference here. All of a sudden, there's some massive kicks coming out.
Look at that pack stretch and go. The fire socks are alight. Blackburn, Kinloch, Torrey, Holly from Coalition. They are putting the power down on the front here, and others are having to respond to make a front group because at the moment it is one long chain.
That is a very, very fast moving group on the front. 2 Electric Spirit kits up there, so that is the Gilberts up on the front. They've got company though. Looks like Torrey is right up there in the mix. Vicky Jones on the wheels. Looks like Joe Blackburn in there. And I think Metcalf not able to hold that pace, or getting a drop out at that speed. Helen Jackson is in here. Holly from the Coalition, as we would expect. We're going to run right up to the front, and it's Ailish Gilbert who's on the front, with Kilwyn Gilbert immediately behind. Then Izzy Torrey, then Joe Blackburn, Holly from Coalition, then it's Jackson, then Lee, Kinloch, Tracy the Terminator in this group as well. Rider who's riding last night on the DCG. Tell you something, this is going to be one frantic last lap when we hit the line next time.
They've got a whole lap to go, I know, but that is becoming an absolutely class front pack here. You know, it is absolutely anybody's game at the moment, and Tracy Seeley's just dropped in there as well. So a number of riders just slipping into that group. In fact, Daisy Freer is the rider who is just off the back there, but I can see her pushing out some huge watts to try and get back in. She's 4 seconds off the back, currently pushing 4.5 watts per kilo to try and catch, but that pack at the front are going to be absolutely motoring.
I tell you something, that's not spray coming off the riders' wheels, that's steam, because the pace is that hot that you can see that they are burning up the road at the moment, and that's steam coming off the road. That is definitely not just spray, because you can see how fast they're having to work up here. This is some motoring here. So we're riding in with Daisy Freer. Takes that right-hand turn as the thunder rings out over Trafalgar Square. The rain intensifies here. So this is going to be interesting. Can she make contact? It's currently sitting at about, 8 seconds or so to this group. That is going to be really interesting. 5 seconds it's showing. I think that is going to be a big ask for a solo rider. This is your leading group, and look how fast these guys going.
Yeah, 50 kilometres an hour at the moment out of this bunch. I think Daisy Freer has got a big job to close that down, unless this group starts sitting up and look at each other, because there's...
someone's dropped a burrito in. That's going to slow them off.
There's 10 riders in this front group. Daisy Freer is the rider in no man's land behind, pushing on and trying to catch, but I think this group are just going to continue to push on and continue to motor. The pace has come off a little bit, still sitting around 4.5 watts per kilo on the front, but it's staying high, 48 kilometres an hour out of this group, and Gilbert is in here with Gilbert. Those 2 orange jerseys seem to be rotating on the front at the moment, but Kinloch is not letting them get away with it. She's continuing to keep the pace high by coming to the front, so the yellow beacon picking up the work and keeping the pace high on the lead group.
Well, this is the leading group coming in and through. We have that solo rider in Daisy Freer. Daisy was pushing hard to try and make the junction, couldn't quite get in the mix. Behind it then you've got Emma Gilbert leading a duo of riders. It's Emma Gilbert and Julie Bratton. Then it's going to be the group with Lisa Elliott, Eva Roberts in here. Claire Jessup is in here. Foxy, looks like Nicola Soden, Sandra McKay. They are further back off this group. I think this pair from the Tactic Racing are feeling yesterday's race in their legs. I tell you something, coordinated, even looking like they mean business. And the question will be, are they going to continue to roll round, and who will win the sprint between the two? Because that's probably what we're going to see from them. I don't think we'll see any bigger effort. Then it's going to be Collier with Harriet Robb in here. So just seeing Harriet back in the gang with us once again. And then we keep on drifting back. The last group on the road, I think, is going to be our Red Beacon group, who are about 2.5 minutes down at this stage. But we are going to try and move our way up from this group to our leading the group by jumping our way up through the riders and up to the lead. And
there's a push on going on in the front, and it's Joe Blackburn who's pushing on. Izzy Torrey has gone with us, so have both the Gilbert sisters, and Holly from Coalition is closing the gap down too. So it's looking like we're going to end up possibly with a group of 4, maybe a group of 5 going clear here. Jackson, Kinlock, back a little further from this push on group, so we've now got 2 groups falling. We've got the Yellow Beacon group forming just 4 seconds back from this group of 5 riders who have now broken clear.
So at the moment I make that 5 and 5 at the moment on the road. 5 leaders, which is this group of riders. Joe Blackburn in the black. You've got the Gilberts in the orange of the Electric Spirit. You've got Izzy Torrey for the Aeonian squad. And you've Holly Bergin in the Coalition bright pink there. Behind then, there is another group of 5 riders. This is a more mixed group. You've got Socks for What's in here, which is going to be Helen Jackson in there. You've got Tracy Seeley in the blue with the pink band across the shoulder. You've got Vicky Jones in here in the green. You've got Joe Blackburn in the purple, and you've got the Yellow Beacon in here as well. So let's see how they're going to motivate. They need to work together. If they do not work, they are going to have to get this right. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble. 5 on 5. And it looks like Blackburn is the rider who's on the front, really putting the pressure on now. She's got another little gap here, but it's a long way to go. Solo, we just try and track her as she comes underneath. Almost lost in the rain from the Big Ben Bell Tower here, looking down.
Yeah, so the rain comes torrentially pouring down, and Blackburn pushing on in that black kit, a little bit hidden in that fog and that greyness, but it's Gilbert and Gilbert pushing on with Torrey on their wheels. Holly from Coalition is still in there too. They're closing this gap down to Joe Blackburn. You know, there's still 8 kilometres of this ride to go. So can Blackburn make this a clear run, or is this group going to stay together to the end?
We will see. I think it's going to come down to who's got what left in their legs at the end of this, who's been doing a lot of work. Now let's jump back to Group 2. Kinlock, Lee, Jones, Jackson in there. Then it's Freya, who's been distanced from that group, which was originally a group of 10, which went to a group of 5 on the climb of Constitution Hill. Then it's going to be Gilbert and Bratton. Then it's going to be the Lindsay Clark group who is in here. And just coming round this turn, and this is a big pack here. They can start hoovering people up. They've got great riders like Claire Jessup in here. You got Chloe Light in here. You got Foxy in this group, and they could start to mop up riders on the way through. Will they be able to do so? Well, the targets up the road are 18 seconds up the road. That is Emma Gilbert and Julie Bratton. Whether these 2 riders are going to get swallowed up, the group aren't in sight on our screens at the moment, but it is pouring down with rain, and it does obstruct visibility at the moment. 13 seconds in front of them is Daisy Freer. Then it's a further 24 seconds to Group 2 on the road, and another 25 seconds to our leading group with Holly from the Coalition squad just hanging on to the back of this group at the moment, just taking a little bit of rest. And I think if I was in this race, I'd be wanting to rest as much as possible. I'd really be playing that brinkmanship card when you've got the likes of any of these 5 riders in here. I mean, you know, any one of these 5. I mean, they're all absolutely class riders, aren't they, Emma?
They are indeed, and as Holly was mentioning earlier, that absolute power is really important on these flatter rides and flatter routes here, and she has that in absolute spades. But Gilbert and Gilbert, we've seen 2 up attacks from them before. Are they going to work as a pair? Are they going to work individually? Blackburn, we've seen regularly win the WOW DCG with lone solo breakaways, and Izzy Torrey regularly be the one to try and chase her down. So there is strength and depth in all of these 5 riders, and it is absolutely anyone's game at the moment.
I think it's a good opportunity for Izzy Torrey today, because normally it's left to Izzy to do the work. It's been the case that she's had to do a lot of the chasing in previous editions. But as the WoW DCG has grown, as we've got stronger and stronger riders, as people have improved, we are seeing a bigger, stronger group to challenge Blackburn's dominance as we go through. So the sun will start to come out, I think, very shortly in the world of Zwift here in London. And you can just see the riders at the moment motoring in that front group now. The speed is 40 kph. She's pretty quick, but it's not as quick as this group can go. I'm so loath to jump back 29 seconds to the next group because I don't want to miss anything on the way through. Let's see how they're going to motor. They've got to keep pushing here. This group are at 29 seconds now on the group in front. It's 32 to Daisy Freer, 14 further back to Bratton and Gilbert, another 16 to the Foxy group being led by that bright yellow Tron bike.
That's a large group, that one on the road, isn't it?
Take that a look should be able
3,
to pull
6,
back some
7,
numbers.
8 riders in that group. You think that group will be doing some catching?
Definitely, I would.
Actually, there's
9.
10.
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm glad you're along for carrying skills, as well as the commentary. Right. Then, behind, it is our tactic duo. They may have the best kit, but clearly today, they're not going to have the best legs. That is tactic team riders, Sudden and McKay.
Yeah, but they've got Torrey down the road, don't forget that. She might be an Aeonian kit at
That
the
is
moment,
true.
but she's also a tactic rider. So there are 3 tactic riders in this ride tonight, and Izzy Torrey is indeed in that lead group.
And then we've got Rob alongside Cindy Collier. Cindy tucked in with Harriet Robb. Continuing to push on. And then we've got the red bus on the way through here. And I think Becky Porter-Jones just telling the gang to keep on rolling and the way up and through. So that's enough of the run through. Let's jump back in to, let's see, is she on the attack again? Well, she's at the front. She's pushing at 5 watts per kilo. Can Blackburn break them? We are now on the run away from the river here. This is where things get very interesting indeed, because Blackburn is now in her kind of territory. This is definitely breakaway ground. This right, left, right turn through the square has a real break in rhythm. If you're riding on your limit and you hit this square, very hard to hold the pace accurately, and I think this is where you can see another push go. Then we're on the zigzags coming up towards Harrods and Kensington for taking the drop down and in. I would be putting the pressure on here, but at the moment it looks like this group is all back together again.
Yeah, they are all back together again as they sweep through those turns, and they continue to push as they're pushing down on this slight descent now at the moment, 45 kph out of these 5 riders, and they continue to rotate through and off in terms of who's on the front of that group. No one wanting to pull it out, everyone wanting to get as much draft and as much recovery as possible, because who knows what